First time I came into contact with Christine and Tamasha was, and this was what was scaring me, I was once Christine before, it's like 14 years ago. I was a young boy then, but it was they did a writer's workshop at the Royal Court Theatre. So it was like, I think they, it's something they still do today, workshopping with new writers, and they would get lots of actors together and they'd spend 2 or 3 days working on these kind of scripts and see if they could take it from there basically. And I just left drama school, 95. It was January of 96. I remember it very, very well. And my agent called me to say, "Oh, would you like to take part in this writer's workshop?" Yeah, all right, Royal Court Theatre. I remember going along, and it was the Tamasha workshop. And it was, I remember, there was these 4 scripts that they're working on, and one of them was a script called East is East, which Ayub Khan Din had written 15, 16 years previous, or when he was in drama school, and it was like gathering dust. And obviously, with Christine, thought we'd workshop this little known script, East is East. Luckily enough, I went along to this thing, and I was in the East is East group. So I workshopped this kind of rough play for about 3 days. And the great thing about it was, because I just left drama school, was that I was getting to meet lots of actors that I didn't know. I had just moved to London, lots of actors, working with someone like Christine's director, meeting people like Ayub, and then of course working on a script like East is East. At the time, it was just another script, but obviously today it's a completely different story. So I remember this kind of 3-day workshop we did, and it was, I remember thinking this was really good, and it was kind of like one of the first things I did after I left drama school when I felt I was a real actor. And then of course 6 months later, or a few months later, there was a call saying, well, the East is East play, the Tamasha really like, they're developing it, and they're going to the Royal Court and they want to do it as a play. You've got an audition. Brilliant. Went along. I still remember to the day my audition for Tariq Khan with Christine. I do remember it. I think she called me back twice or once. Did it, got the job. Wow, brilliant. And then I remember going to the Tamasha. They had this party to celebrate the start of East is East, and that's where I met my other cast members who some of are my best friends today, 14 years on. And then we embarked on this on rehearsing for the play, which was for me was just I couldn't have landed on my feet better, to be honest. I would left drama school, moved to London. I was now working for a great theatre company on a script that was so of its time and so specific to my background. I mean, you can wait your whole life to get a project like that, or a part like that. And Christine was the person that gave me the opportunity to start my career in that way, and let me work and develop this character of Tariq Khan, do theatre, and then of course it went on to other things. So so I was a bit more traditional, I suppose. It's like the director's the director, the actor's the actors. You work together, and that's it. And Christine, as I said, likes to engage with the cast. So she was there. We socialised. She had so much energy. I mean, it was like a relatively small scale touring theatre production. It was about a mixed-race Asian family in the 70s in Salford, opening at the Birmingham Rep and going through provincial theatres. It was going to be good. It was going to be a theatre tour. It went off the roof, and no one knew it was going to be such a success. And of course, we went to Stratford East, and then we got into the West End in the Duke of York for 6 weeks or whatever it was. I mean, it was like a dream come true. It was a dream come true. It was my first proper job, and I was in the West End. If the play wasn't half as good as it was, then why would, it wouldn't have been a success. People wouldn't have latched onto it. It wouldn't have been made into a film. So, Tamasha is very important, simple as that. I have to go back to my case in point. If it wasn't for Tamasha, I know I would not be sitting here today talking to you about this. That's for sure. I suppose, like I was saying before about, at the start of my career, I mean, the biggest impact for me was East is East as a play. I remember firstly as a play, I was being seen on stage, and then from that, people started thinking of you for. I mean, probably got EastEnders from East is East. I know some other kind of first telly jobs were from casting directors spotting me in that play. Then, of course, a year or so after the play, I had developed the screenplay, which at that time, I do remember at that time, it was kind of quite a hairy time, because I know the director of the film, wanting to have a new kind of take on everything, actually wasn't very pro using the cast from the play. He wanted a new, fresh, actors. He wanted it to be his baby. Of course, he found out that there wasn't anyone as good as the original cast. He knew the work so well. So we actually did get a look in, and we luckily got the job in the film. And of course, that's again, that completely changed my career. By doing that film and going to the Cannes Film Festival and it being a massive hit, it started my film career off, and it started a whole new chapter in my life, and which again, I wouldn't be here if it wasn't for that. I mean, it's absolutely fantastic to see so many actors coming through the ranks and working, and I think that's, when I did it, there wasn't necessarily, we didn't have any trailblazers. There wasn't people, oh, well, so-and-so did that, so, I want to be the next, la, 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 la. It was very much like, you're uncharted territory. Whereas now, as I said, I think there's a lot more talent out there. It's always going to be, that's why, with Tamasha, that's why, going back to the point, it's important that they're still here and giving people opportunities, because we still need Tamasha as much now as we did then. There may be there's a whole bigger pool of talent out there, but it's still, it's not a walk in the park. I mean, you might be seeing more British Asian people popping up in certain shows and things like that, but it's always going to be, it's not going to be easy.